Here we are.
Okay.
Good morning.
Is that new hairstyle, CJ?
I got a haircut like a week ago. Not necessarily a new style, but didn't do much to it today.
Can you run your hands through it?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice. That's well done.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, what's everybody got? Oh, circles.
Mm-mm.
Circles.
Oh, the branding got reset again. I don't know why this happens.
I saw it.
Wait, circles. What are we talking about?
We were in little circles.
Oh.
Yeah, you looked away and
80s intro video. That would have been nice. Oh, God. Okay.
Spent the morning reading about blood clots in shoulders and necks.
That's so good.
Yeah.
We saw, been going to a lot of old movie screenings.
Oh, yeah. They're doing those.
Saw Close Encounters last night at the Egyptian Theater, which is a famous theater in Hollywood.
Have you seen it before?
I had, but not since college. And so it's
Okay.
been a really long time, so I really didn't remember much of it.
I rewatched it like 6 months ago, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And really cool to see on a big screen, 35 millimeter. Looked beautiful. Mark Maron was there, walked by me.
Okay.
And I did want to be like,
The other old podcaster?
I've been doing it. We've almost been doing it the same. It's been about the same amount of time, me and you.
Yeah. Well, he's quitting. I mean,
I
he's
know.
stopping the podcast. Yeah.
I know. It's when
Pussy.
it's like when
Quitting.
it's like when an athlete stops their like amount of stats they've accumulated, and then everybody else can
Catch up.
catch up. I feel like that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're going to catch up to Mark Maron. He was one of the first guys, if I remember correctly, to have a big podcast.
That's it. It's him and then us, I think.
Yep. All right. Let's do a podcast.
Let's do it.
We'll show you Mark Maron. We're just going to keep going. On the show today, the Sixers schedule is out. Who cares, really, be honest with you. Fly the process possibilities. And why Mike doesn't think people in Australia speak English. We will,
All right.
well, we'll
Good.
get to it.
Good.
We'll get to it. You'll have a
Great.
chance to respond. A lot of upset Australians, by the way. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. And brought to you by Ethos Support. Your customer support should not suck. If it does, or it's even close to it, fix it at ethossupport.com/Ricky. Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Ricky, at briggsauction.com. Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. Get yours at barkerbeds.com/Ricky. And of course, the great Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. Speaking of Surfside, we got this email from Norman. Don't know if it's CJ's dog or a different Norman. Don't know. I don't know if Surfside's legal for dogs, but Norman says, Spike and Mike, I am in the Outer Banks for my annual family vacation. I can't believe you let him go on vacation by himself, CJ. I was sitting on the beach today and a plane flies overhead, pulling a Surfside advertisement behind it as it flies up and down the coast. Hard to believe they began advertising on the Ricky and they are now everywhere. First of all, you're welcome, Surfside.
Crazy.
But second of all, I do find like I get pride every time I see like a Surfside thing in some other state where I'm like, all they were fucking vodka in Philly when they started with us.
Wow.
So, Surfside is great. I did have my wife and I went to Lincoln Park last night. First of all, she had 3 of them at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Let me just say, it's nice to buy them when you're out. It's much nicer to buy them home. Boy, they're pretty pricey when you're out there. But
This is part of the ad.
well, look, my point is, when I got home, I still wanted one more drink, and I grabbed a strawberry lemonade and vodka right out of the fridge there. I mean, there's nothing Surfside can do about what it costs at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. My point is, you should stock your fridge with them. We have green tea and vodka in there. We have iced tea lemonade and vodka, and we have the strawberry lemonade because my wife likes it. But I finally had one of those for the first time last night. It's really good. 3 grams of sugar, 100 calories, no bubbles, of course. You can get it wherever you get your canned cocktails. If you're having trouble with that, just go to drinksurfside.com. You got to be 21, and please enjoy it responsibly. Oh, without any further ado, Amos and the Chef. Sorry.
say the name, say the name. We were right, y'all, we were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all, we were right. So say the name, say the name, say the name.
Forever.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy who remembers his parts, even if I don't remember my parts. That is one, Mike Levin.
We don't have enough moments of silence in this podcast.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We should just incorporate just a couple just contemplative moments where nobody says anything.
Yeah,
I think
would be nice.
Yeah.
Would be nice. Maybe we'll build one in. Maybe we'll build a moment of silence in. So I did not notice this from the last podcast. And we started receiving, there were a few comments on YouTube. There were a bunch of emails. There were a couple of comments on Spotify about Mike seemingly saying on the last podcast when we were talking about the Nick Nurse audio that people in Australia do not speak English. Now, I haven't seen this. I don't remember it.
I haven't rewatched it either, so I'm excited to see what it looks like.
And I will say this. I laughed about it in the intro. Some of the Australians who I found like they use profanity more freely than we do, so maybe they're not quite as mad as it seemed like they were in the emails, but did take particular offense to this.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Here is the clip of Mike supposedly saying that Australians do not speak English.
Okay.
Talk Sport?
Talk Sport? You don't, that's my homepage.
Sounds fake. Now that sounds like an AI generated. What do we call it? Well, we're talking about sport.
Or some non-English language, maybe like an Australian.
Perhaps. Talk Sport? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You were doing non-English language, maybe an Australian, right?
Yeah, I could say that that's what I was doing, or I could go full heel against the entirety of Australia and say, I don't think the thing that you guys are doing is speaking English. I could do that. It is August, and we are leading with a clip of our own podcast.
Well, it's August.
So
it's
this
August.
is as big as it gets.
Yeah.
That is what I meant. I meant a comma, but sometimes you do a podcast for 12 years and you ostracize an entire group of people like that. So,
and by the way, our second biggest country in terms of listeners is Australia, so that's big for us.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I knew you spoke English. I'm so pretty sure that I knew.
A lot of it was what one guy signed the email. Wait, do I have it? No, the one from James was fine. The other one signed it. Guess I'll just go back to speaking Spanish. So-and-so, like.
Yeah, I want to get into the history of colonization.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah, let's tap into that. That's what I was referring to in a benign Nick Nurse awkward audio clip.
But by the way, an old friend of ours, Thoracic Outlet Syndrome, has made a comeback over the last 24 hours. As we remember, that is the, I believe, phony diagnosis that they gave to Markel Fultz as to what was wrong with him. Zach Wheeler diagnosed with a blood clot in his upper extremities. I guess sometimes thoracic outlet syndrome can cause those sorts of blood clots because it puts pressure on the blood flow in that area because of a closed thing. I didn't think I would ever see thoracic outlet syndrome before. Now, this thing that is happening to Wheeler has happened to a bunch of different pitchers. I guess if you're throwing, it can cause it. But waking up, looking online, and seeing thoracic outlet syndrome again with a Philadelphia athlete wasn't something I thought I would ever go through.
You are telling it to me right now, so I am reacting live to those things connecting.
Yeah.
That's upsetting.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean that Wheeler has thoracic outlet syndrome, but it could be a cause of what he has.
If Zach Wheeler forgets how to shoot, we are so fucked.
Yep. So the Sixers schedule comes out. Looks like they're going to play 82 games again.
Again?
Yes. This was the first time. Now, to be clear, every time we've done talk about the schedule stuff, it is like, even when we're into it, it's still kind of ridiculous because it doesn't truly matter. But this year, boy, I barely glanced at it. The only time I took a real look at it was when I was looking for fly the process possibilities. But thank you to Sixers Adam, who did this work for us. The Sixers, the 25-26 Sixers, play 16 back-to-backs. That is one more than last year and 5 more than 23-24. And I believe the most in the NBA back-to-backs, or tied for the most.
That's good.
Not great,
Very
for the
generous of them.
Sixers. Yeah. Not great. National TV games, Sixers, fewest of the last 3 years. Wonder why that is. 21 last year, down to 14 this year. And that comes with, when you look at the national TV schedule, first of all, there's national TV games with the new NBA deal every night. But looking at where they are, just in this new world of Peacock one night, ESPN the next night, Prime the next night, that sort of thing, it's funny, we have the fewest primetime games, I believe, in a time where there might be the most primetime game opportunities ever. It just seems like national TV also betting on the Sixers less than we even are.
Thank you. Everybody everybody is just a sort of constant boil annoyed at the Sixers. There's no one that isn't like, fuck you guys, you fucking, what are you doing? Why did you do that? I'm seeing this now because I'm checking when they come to LA. They go to, this just feels cruel. Monday, February 2nd, at the Clippers. The next night, back-to-back, at Golden State. And then, so it's Tuesday at Golden State. Thursday, fly back to the Lakers. Wait, just fucking...
Yeah, flip-flop those two.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
We have to play a back-to-back, go to Golden State, and then come back and play LA again? Stay in the same place? Can they leave some of their shit there? Do they have to check out of their hotel?
Now, the funny thing is, I saw elsewhere that the Sixers fly the third fewest miles in the NBA this year.
Okay.
They do.
I like that.
They do. But yeah, that is
environmentally responsible Sixers schedule. I like that.
I think it probably has to do with...
Are they taking the train? I would like that.
I think it probably has to do with where they're located. Because I think Chicago had the fewest, and it's probably because it's in the middle of the country. So it's like less far to get everywhere. The opener is October 22nd against the Celtics. The home opener, October 25th against the Hornets. Here were let me throw these at you. Basically 3, I believe, fly the process possibilities. Yes, we're doing it again. Now, the key is for fly the process, if you're going to suggest dates.
After football season.
It's really got to be after football season. And that means it's got to be through the Super Bowl because we're Titletown, USA, and it could be through that. That is for 2 reasons. One, because Joe does trips for fans of Philly, and the other one is because my day job makes it difficult for me to do it.
When is Super Bowl?
The 6th or the 7th of February. It is that first week of February.
February 9th in Portland would have been cool.
February 9th but it's a Monday. So
that's right. Right. So I am breaking the rules as we speak. Right. Immediately wrong. Okay.
So there are really 3, I believe, looking at it. If you don't want to do, and here's the other sort of thing I'll say is that given that we don't know if the Sixers are going to be any good, doing sorts of things like putting it on a non-weekend or a destination that seems like funny but also maybe a little bit shitty. I wouldn't do this year, given, I think it should be a good trip and make it easy for people this year, given how last year went. So the 3 options, I believe, are February 21st in New Orleans.
Yeah.
That is post Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras is Tuesday, so we'll be clear of Mardi Gras. March 21st in Utah or March 28th in Charlotte.
You're skipping Sunday, March 1st in Boston.
Yeah. I mean, that feels like a fight, but I guess that could be possible too. I didn't.
Yeah, it is if the Sixers are good and the Celtics have a gap year, that would be like a fun taunt situation. But it would also be a fight.
Yeah.
There's never been a Boston trip, right?
No, and I separately went to Boston with my wife when we played them in the Eastern Conference semis, and my wife almost got in a fight with Celtics fans. So, and that was just the 2 of us, and I was just harmlessly sitting there in a Drew Holiday hoodie. So So yeah, so we'll get back to that in 1 second. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Ethos Support. EthosSupport.com/Ricky, or call or text Blair, who is in charge, 240-593-2485. What Ethos Support does, first I'll tell you what they do, then I'll tell you why it's important. What they do is they put together a customer support team for you, whether you're a very, very big company and you're too big to do it on your own, too much hassle, or you're a small company and you're not big enough to do that on your own. They can put together a customer support team that is good, that knows your business, that will help people from point A to point B. They can do it in 2 weeks or less to put that team together for you, and you don't have to sign a contract. So if you don't like it, you could walk away whenever you want. By the way, it is phone, which you might want to use. It is email, it's chat, it is social media, wherever you want customer support. The other thing is that this is real people on the other line. We've all been frustrated, I think, to a man. One, the original one, not being able to get to a person, just hitting 11111 or 0000 or yelling agent, 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 agent. Or now sometimes you call and you get the AI like person on the other end, which is maddening and also a little bit dystopian.
Yep.
Especially now because it's not quite good enough, so you can definitely tell that it is. Yeah. So what Ethos Support, the reason it's important is because when people are reaching out to your business, it's one of two reasons. One, they're trying to buy something, which you want to be able to help them right away. Or two, they have bought something and they're having a problem, which also you want to get back to them right away. And there's a lot of small businesses that maybe you have a phone number that you'll only answer when you're there, or an email address that maybe just goes to you and you'll get to it when you get to it. But what contacting Ethos Support can do is make sure that those people that are reaching out either when they want to buy something or time of need get answered right away. And as a consumer, that makes you feel so much better about the company because it makes you feel valued. It makes you feel like you matter. If you're not getting back to people or they're not getting help when they need it, then they don't feel valued. That is super important, worth your time. What I suggest you do is you go to ethossupport.com/Ricky. They will be able to have a solution for you that'll be cost appropriate and will be actually very good. Or call or text Blair at 240-593-2485. That is 240-593-2485. Personally, the Fly the Process trips, I would most like to go to Salt Lake City because I think it's beautiful there. But if I am looking for, I believe, the trip that people will want to do, regardless of the Sixers sucking or not, I believe New Orleans is probably the best answer. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's more rationale to go to Utah for the Ace Bailey thing, although by the end of the season, maybe we won't give a fuck.
Yes.
I guess you could do a New Orleans thing and go like, which one of our highly paid franchise cornerstones is going to be available between theirs and ours.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and I've never been to Charlotte. Charlotte seems like a lovely place.
Yeah, it does. It does. You've been to New Orleans, I assume, right?
Been to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Have been to Salt Lake City.
Interestingly, I've never been to Salt Lake City. I was in Cedar City once. I had a college friend. My friend Brooke was from Cedar City. I went there. It was beautiful. I really liked Utah, to be honest. It's pretty. But I can't imagine there's a lot of people dying to go to Utah. So if you have ideas, send them our way. We will put it together with fans of Philly, and it will ultimately be a good trip. I think we could have fun.
When do we have to decide by? Because it might be helpful to see like what the first month or two of the season looks like before we commit. Right.
So that is on Joe. I think Utah in terms of flights is expensive, and the longer we wait, there will be fewer flights. Actually, you might be interested in this, might not be interested in this. What I have found is the most challenging thing for these road trips is getting enough flights. That's what it is. It's usually not tickets. He can always find tickets. It's usually not hotel rooms. He can always find hotel rooms. It's usually the flights. So I don't know. I'll talk to Joe. I'll see how long we can wait. I don't think we have to do it right away, but I think we wait too far into the season, then I think we're also not capitalizing on the idiots who think they're going to be good and will buy the trip early.
That's fair. That's fair.
So the beginning of the season. So let's do first 10 games.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm trying to look at how many bad teams we play.
They got Boston 3 times in the first, 11?
Yes. We have Boston in the opener, then, no, twice. Right? No, you're right. Boston the opener, Boston on Halloween, then Boston in Game 11 on November 11th. 2 of those 3 on national TV. The easy games in that first 10, there's really only a couple. I don't know Charlotte. We'll say we think not good teams. Charlotte, Washington, Brooklyn are the only. But I don't know about Toronto. I assume Detroit will be good again. So it seems like there's 3 easy ones.
Chicago middling.
Yeah. What the fuck are we doing here? I don't know.
They should start 11-0.
If
They
Joel
should start
Embiid's-
11-0 because they got a back-to-back where Cleveland on the second half. But Cleveland's not going to expect that we win that game, so we win that game.
Right. Do you want to
Feels
do
like-
all 82?
No.
Okay.
There's 3 back-to-backs in the first 10 games.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
And they are all. I'm sure making the schedule is hard. I'm sure it's really hard, but like, they're not getting better at it. If you play a back-to-back in the NBA, it should only be at home. There should never be a travel back-to-back. That is insane. It is insane that they make you do that. Because what if a flight is delayed, like, which happens all the time, and then because it's fucking going to be winter, and then you're getting into a place at 2, 3 a.m., whatever. It fucks up your whole schedule. They play Orlando at home, then at Washington, not too difficult, but whatever. At Chicago, at Cleveland, flight.
There's probably
and
not
then
gonna
home
be
Toronto,
much
home Detroit. That's fine. It
weather
should
in
be
October.
sure, but home Toronto. Then a couple of games later, home Toronto at Milwaukee. That's changing time zones.
It is. I think.
Home Golden State at Milwaukee, changing time zones. At New York, home versus Dallas. Okay, fine. It just
It's
shouldn't.
probably hard though, right? To put together the schedule.
Then do fewer games. We should just have not accepted that the idea that there is going to be travel on back-to-back game days. If the
There's not
NBA
gonna
wants
be fewer
like
games.
people to play, right? And they claim to want that. So then why do they keep doing this?
Well, I think they would tell you people played 25 years ago.
And people are getting more injured now. I think the game is harder to play now than it was.
I would
then.
agree with that. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there any part of you, before we get to the next thing, there's a little part of me. It's not a huge part of me, but it's not an insignificant part of me. There's like, take the person part out of it. Take just the fan experience part. There's like, part of me would rather just Embiid not play.
All season?
Yeah. Just so I don't have to worry about it. I'm take away the personal aspect of it. Like
You mean
just
personal aspect for Joel?
for Joel, for him as a person. I understand, I respect that. I'm just thinking from a fan standpoint.
Yeah.
There's part of me that would just rather see what the other guys are like and not have to go through the whole rigmarole of will he, won't he, how is he. I'm pretty tired by all of it and almost willing to, as a sports watcher, release any possibility that it is going to work out, because I think it's so small and it's so annoying anyway, to just watch what we got and be a normal person.
I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to feel. So there's something good. I mean, last season I was like, stop trying to win, shut everyone down, so I can just relinquish this feeling of why is Paul George playing injured right now in this season of all seasons, when you're this old on the first year of this big ass contract. Just like, please shut it the fuck down. And once he did, it was like a much more relieving experience, just watching the game, being like, who gives a shit? They're gonna lose. Maybe they can get the pick, whatever.
Yeah.
I understand why the stress of, is he playing? Is he gonna look like himself? Is it gonna, like, how long are we gonna be able to, if it's good, how long is it gonna be good for?
Right. Because when we had that last year, just that one spurt in the around Christmas where it looked like they could be good.
I completely understand that. And I also feel myself that the conversation you have with yourself or with other people of like, if he looks like he did this season before, if he can hold up for 45, 50 games, if the timing works out that he is healthy, not just for like January, but in fact, April, you start to do that math and that hoping, you do feel like a fucking idiot.
Yes.
So I certainly relate to the idea of wanting it to just be binary.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, no, he's not playing. It's over.
Yes.
I can relate to that.
There was
But I can't.
But you can't
quit
get
it.
there.
I can't get there. Yeah.
There was a good article on rightstoRickySanchez.com from Mike O'Connor this week about Nick Nurse, and you can subscribe rightstoRickySanchez.com. But Mike was harder on Nurse, I think, than we were in general earlier, just that there were more solutions to what they could be doing than he was finding. I think he is one person this year that I will excuse myself as a fan getting annoyed with the Embiid thing. I'm saying right now, and I think this is one of the things that Mike was saying, like, you got to have two plans, buddy, for every game, and you got to train everybody for two plans. And like, as best you can do, you got to have a will he or won't he plan for every single fucking game, and not just throw your hands up and say, how am I supposed to do that this year? Because you know it's coming. You know what I mean? Like, more than you ever have, you know it's coming this year. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it was a little bit, what am I supposed to do last year? Everything was going wrong. And now he's had all off season, in addition to all of the regular season that didn't matter last year, to think about how to build an offense out of these guys. You have Maxey, you have Grimes, you will have Grimes, you have McCain, hopefully healthy. Edgecombe as an interesting like transition piece. Like, there's different ways they can play. Hopefully Paul George is at least a back to his median outcome as a catch and shoot guy, even if the burst and dribble drive game is gone for good. Hopefully another year of Bona being somewhat useful. Maybe Drummond is less bad. Watford useful.
Let's not get crazy.
That kind of thing. So like, they should have had a more dynamic offense last year. They did not. There's no excuse to not have a little bit more movement and fluidity this year. Nick has a reputation of being a creative coach. We did not see that last year. Joel is, I thought the interesting point about being like, hey, Joel's really good when the offense is nothing.
Yes.
The offense is like, truly just give it to him and make the defense make decisions. I think that NBA players are smart enough, and if you give them enough systems and packages to go, okay, Joel's in, here's what we're doing. Okay, Joel's not in, here's what we're doing. They should be able to do both. There's enough coaches to figure out.
And by the way, there's enough time to like
implement those things.
Yeah, something tells me my prediction, Joel Embiid is not going to be like a full go in camp. Yeah. So that would be my gut tells me. So use that time appropriately. You know what I mean? Everybody knows what the fucking Embiid plan is. Yeah. Everybody knows. So
the fact that they have 4 like fast, athletic, shooty ball handlers as their guard rotation, obviously to varying degrees, should allow them to do some like interesting packages, setting off ball screens, pin downs, moving offside of that, like getting, flipping the pick and roll situations, who's setting pick and rolls and then popping off of it. Like, is McCain setting screens and flying off of it, and then somebody else rolls up. Like, there's interesting things that can happen off of it if they try. That's why it was frustrating last year that they started 3-14. It was a bad situation with Embiid, with Paul George, Maxey having a rough start to the year, but like, there was never an excuse to start 3-14.
No, and that was, by the way, I think you could compare the way that Maxey handled this frustration and Nick Nurse handled this frustration in a similar way. They're both sort of like pouty children stomping their feet, like mad that it was the way it was instead of dealing with it, which is human. You know, you could get it last year. But again, for both of them, this year, not acceptable. You know, this year got to be better. Got to be at least a normal mediocre basketball team without Embiid.
That's it. I mean, like, for his whole career, they have not been able to be relatively competent without him. Now he is, last year he was worse than he's ever been. This year, hopefully better than that, but not really bankable. The rest of the team, if everybody's healthy, should be like a 500 team without Joel.
Yes.
They should be a 500 team in this East. And if they can do that, then they can allow themselves to have the upside of what happens if Joel is healthy.
Yes, in the playoffs. If we
in the playoffs and for like a month stretch of games or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they should be doing that.
The Rice Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Briggs Auction. Briggs Auction is fucking cooking right now. And when we get to the CJ item of the week, I'm sure CJ can attest to this. The auctions are every single week, and there's always something in there that I want. There is something, let me just say, I mentioned I won an auction a couple auctions ago. I'm bidding on an item. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is because I don't want anybody to get it, but I'm bidding on it. Everything at Briggs Auction. BriggsAuction.com, the App Store, Google Play. You can get the apps every single week. A new online sale, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lots. A lot of them starting at $1. Collectibles, check. Art, check. Furniture, check. Clothing, check. Speaking of which, CJ, Briggs item auction of the week.
Yes, so I'm looking at this vintage Calvin Klein denim jacket.
Ooh,
this is a woman's size XL, which is
means
perfect for a men's medium.
I was going to ask there because that's what I need. I'm a denim jacket guy. I got a bunch of them, by the way.
It's got some patches on it already.
Yep.
Looks great.
Did you see the vest with all the heavy metal patches on it? It's too small.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the chest size was fine, but it was too short. It wasn't going to fit. That's a good one, though.
Yeah,
I like that one. If you're filling out a room in your house, you're looking for furniture, Briggs Auction, great option to find stuff you're not going to find anywhere else. You also don't have to wait several months like you have to do when you order furniture new now. If you win an item, pick it up easy on Saturdays with open pickup. You do it by appointment, easy during the week. You can't get over there or it's too big or something. You can't do it yourself. They can work with you on a shipper. Easy, all easy. And if you have a bunch of stuff that you think is of value and you might want to auction, info@briggsauction.com. Briggs Auction in the App Store, in Google Play, and briggsauction.com, the official auction of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. We got this email. Oh, shit, man. I forgot his name. I'll get you next time, buddy. Hi, Spike, Mike, CJ, and Harold. This came to rightsrickysanchez@gmail.com. Can we please delve way too deep into can openers this August? I figured one of you two might have brought this up on the last pod, so I'm pondering whether this is less commonplace than I thought. This is in reference to Tyrese Maxey's troubles with the can opener. I was told when working at a restaurant that the proper way to open a can was holding the can opener parallel to the tabletop. This is how I do it, by the way. This results in a dull lid portion while the can edge is sharp. I much prefer holding the can opener perpendicular to the tabletop, resulting in a sharp lid and dull can edge. Have you tried both ways? If not, will you report back with your preferred method? I did not know that you could hold the can opener like basically parallel to the can, like straight up and down, and get a sharp top and a dull edge. Did you ever know that before? This was not the only person to tell us this.
I don't think I'm following this even remotely, what this person is talking about.
So regular can.
Get a can.
And the can opener goes like this and goes around like that, right? He's saying that you could hook it up like this, almost next to the can, perpendicular to the ground, and it changes how, instead of having a sharp edge on the can, you just get a sharp edge on the top that comes off, and it makes it safer. I had no idea.
Okay.
CJ, were you aware?
Okay, CJ.
No, I've never. I'm also pretty confused at why does this matter?
Well, because
you're pouring the soup.
That's sort of
can,
CJ's thing where he pops in and just says, "Hey, why does this matter?"
Let me explain why, Mr. Fucking Know-It-All or whatever. It's just like that.
I don't know. I'm curious.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna get a can and a can
right
opener.
now
We're gonna do this actively. I'm gonna get a can and a can opener.
Good, thank you.
So every day I make this little salad for lunch. It's a bunch of things, but it's got chickpeas in it. But I don't use the whole can of chickpeas. So I throw something like over the top of the can, put it in the fridge for the next day.
Okay.
I would much rather have that can have a dull edge, so my wife doesn't scratch herself or something reaching in there. If you're going to keep the can, if you're not using everything, I'd much rather have a dull edge than a sharp edge.
So you're throwing the lid away anyway, but
Yes.
the top of the can is sharp depending on how you use the can opener.
Correct. And I think
Okay.
the way that I normally open a can opener, it leaves the sharp edge because I'm doing it. Okay, so Mike's got a can and a can opener.
Visual demonstration
This
for the audio
is the most
listeners.
August thing we've ever
Okay.
done. Yeah.
I have some white kidney beans.
There it is. Okay, we were just talking about chickpeas.
I have a can opener.
Okay.
So I would normally do it like this. Get it down like this.
So I would normally do it.
collapse it like that. That's how I would normally do it.
Yes.
Same.
Okay.
So he's saying you can
Now, what
do
are you
it.
telling me now?
So he's saying you can do it with the can opener basically parallel to the can.
Like this?
Yes.
But the thing gets in the way.
Well, open it and see if it works. Like,
Okay. We're trying it. How's it? Okay, sorry. It's hard to do it with the microphone in the way. So you're saying like this,
I think so. Yeah.
parallel to the can.
I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna get beans all over my mic. I'm trying to collapse it, and I'm not used to doing it.
It's not working. You're saying
Am I
no.
using I'm saying no, dude.
So he's not the only person who suggested there's two ways to use a can opener.
Maybe I'm having a different can opener experience than they are.
He's also a professional. I trust him. He's gotten the expert advice on this. I don't often like use a can partially and then put it away. Like most of the food that I'm eating, I use all of it right away.
Yeah. Well, you could always throw some tinfoil on there, and
Yeah, that's what Spike was saying earlier.
Yeah.
no, it's not. It's not happening on a parallel. On a parallel. It's very funny saying parallel to the can, as in the can, as if the can is going a certain way. Like there's some
Parallel to the length of the can. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish this was working for me, and maybe I'm
Okay.
doing it wrong. But
Well, maybe I'll try it later, and we'll get a new way to look at it. The second question, more Sixers oriented. Basketball question: how annoyed will we be by McCain's lack of minutes next year? Daryl sure didn't sound keen on Maxey and McCain playing much together, and I don't picture Nurse pairing them much either. I'm worried McCain will get less than 20 minutes per game, and I want to see him play close to 30 minutes a game. I will be honest with you. If McCain is playing 20 minutes or less per game, I will have a fucking aneurysm. No offense to anyone who's had an aneurysm. But
it feels like if everybody's healthy and it's all working out great, and McCain's at like 25, 26, like I'm okay with that.
if everything's great and everything's working. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's not, then obviously you got to give him more time.
Yeah.
The thing that frustrates me is like, and I've said this before on the Nick Nurse level of like, it seems like he does best coaching defense when he has long rangy athletes that can switch and recover fast. Siakam,
Yes.
Anunoby, that kind of thing.
That was when we used to play the Raptors, it felt like that's all they had.
Yes, except for obviously Lowry and Van Vliet, which is like if you're optimistic about Nurse and you're optimistic about Lowry or about Maxey and McCain, that's who you're pointing to. But it frustrates me that he's still having, there were times last year and the season before where he was having unathletic, not long, not quick twitch, not quick visualizing. Like Batum was great at that, right?
Yeah.
But there were guys that are just like too slow to react to play that kind of defense.
Like Eric Gordon.
Like, oh my God. I wasn't even like, I don't even have an image of a mind of Eric Gordon playing defense because it never happened last season. Yeah. Or like present day Lowry, like those kinds of things, or Drummond if he's out of position, that kind of thing. So I would love to find a way for him to coach the team he has rather than the style he prefers when his team can't play it. And now maybe this time they can do it. it'd be harder with Maxi and McCain on the court at the same time, but everybody else that figures to be in the rotation. PG was good on defense last year. Oubre is still athletic. Edgecombe, obviously. Edwards, competent. Like those kinds of guys should be able to do that, the kind of defense that Nick wants to play. But it's the Maxi McCain problem. And so I guess in my mind, if another team, and this is how I've always felt, if another team wants to game plan their entire offense around in a regular season,
that's what I was about to say. This is a playoff issue, it shouldn't be a regular season issue.
I agree. In a regular season of going, we are hunting mismatches constantly. That's the only thing we're doing is hunting mismatches. The trauma that we have is the 2021 Hawks series, Kevin Huerter going at Seth Curry over and over again. Seth is a worse defender than Maxey right now by a lot. And I think he's worse than McCain also. I think as far as like effort level, physicality level, I think McCain, either he's better now or he's definitely going to be better when he's older and later into his career.
Yes.
I just don't mind that. If you're a Maxey McCain, both have a lot of, McCain was born with it. Maxey has grown into it, has a lot of like fuck you in me as a defender. And if they want to keep trying that over and over again, if they want to go like if they want to go Gary Trent right on, like, okay, he's bigger than McCain, go at him over and over again. Like, I'm fine with that being the offense. Like in the regular season, when it's not Luka getting to pick his own pick and roll so that they have to switch. I would love to defer switches. I would love to, if you can avoid it, not having to switch when like Luka asks for it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like they can fight through that kind of thing more and communicate. But yeah, I basically don't mind in the regular season for a full game going, okay, you guys aren't going to run an offense. You're just everybody else is going to stand there while you go one-on-one at a defender you think is too short to defend. I just don't mind it. So I would basically say fucking try it and make Maxi McCain take it personally and get better on defense.
Yeah, and again, a playoff problem, which is ultimately what we're working toward. But there's a reason I think people talk themselves into Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum as a pair most seasons, because during the regular season, they were like their offensive skill outweighed their defensive liabilities against most teams, because most teams are just not. It's funny to say they're just not trying hard enough. They're not going to game plan for you in that way or try hard enough to make it matter. So yes, we will have to worry about it for the playoffs, but like I kind of want to cross that bridge when we come to it and get McCain the minutes anyway.
Yeah, and again, I think Maxi McCain are closer to Lowry Van Vliet style defenders than they are Damon CJ style defenders. I think Damon CJ are neither of them are good on defense. Dame is like became pretty good and got his hands on a bunch of steals and stuff. But I think as far as being able to handle bigger guys, I trust Maxey more than that. And I trust McCain more than McCollum to hold up as he gets old later in his career.
Yeah, I would hope so. This came from Chris, writes rickysanchez@gmail.com, dipping back into all the AMA stuff we have. Really quick question I've been thinking about. What do you think the chances are that Joel Embiid misses the entire upcoming season? I'd say it's a non-zero number. I'd guess even as much as 5% chance he doesn't play in any games this year. Do you entertain this at all, or do you think he's definitely going to play some games? Non-basketball question. How do you think the Phillies match up with the Dodgers in a postseason series? It's definitely non-zero chance that Embiid doesn't play at all, but I don't think it's very high. I wouldn't put it above 5%.
No, I'd say it's a lot lower than that. I think like he would have to suffer in some sort of practice or training camp, like a new injury that like sets him back in a great way. I don't think it's just he's going to go through his thing and be like, I'm not ready yet. It's season's over. I think he felt like that was last year.
Yeah.
And I think he considered last year a lost season. He got the surgery he wanted to get. He's taking his time off all summer, which I think is great.
Slowly. Yeah,
taking it slowly. I think that's great. All that stuff.
That's amazing.
but I don't think he's thinking like, oh, okay, actually this year's also going to be a lost year. So I think he's going to play at some point. Who knows what happens, but I don't think it's going to be the kind of thing that like happened with Christian McCaffrey last year, where opening night it becomes like, hey, yeah, he could play. He might. I fucking started Christian McCaffrey on Monday Night Football last year, and it was like, he's not going to play. And then he missed like 11 games or whatever it was. And which was so frustrating as a fantasy football owner.
What round did you draft him in? Hopefully
the
not.
first.
Oh
the
my
first.
God.
He was a
But
top.
that's on you, buddy.
No,
that
dude,
guy's
he was a top
injured
5
every
pick.
year of his career.
No, he wasn't. He was the
Christian
best
McCaffrey?
He was the best player in fantasy football the year before.
The year before, but look at every other year of his career. That's on you, buddy.
No, it's not.
He had too many touches to draft him in the first
He was like
round.
a universally top 5 player. Seen it last year, and I'm not gonna draft him this year because fucking I've been burned too much. But he was not, and he was like he wasn't even questionable going into Monday Night Football.
I'm sorry, that's on you. You just got to look at the history of backs that touch the ball as much as he did. By the way, I wouldn't draft Saquon in the first round this year either.
Sure. All right, now we're giving fantasy football advice.
Well, I'm just saying.
But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be the kind of thing. I think he will. I'm not saying he's gonna be ready for opening night or whatever, but I don't think it's gonna be. He's not ready for opening night. Flash forward to 4 months later, and he's still like day to day. I think he's gonna play and try to play.
He should be ready for opening night.
Sure.
This is ridiculous if he's not ready for opening night. Why? I just like I want somebody to tell me. I would side on the fans of the side on the side of the dumb, frustrated casuals who are like, we had this. What are we doing here? What are we doing? I would sort of be there. I would want to know why. And you can't do the ramping thing because you did that to me last year. So you're gonna have to come up with a new lie. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds, barkerbeds.com/Ricky. Big thank you to Barker Beds. They sent over a bunch of like chewable toys or whatever. My wife took them over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA, especially these orange tough bones. Barker is like part of a bigger company called Jolly Pet now, and they sent over all these Jolly Pet bones, and the shelter dogs loved them. So thank you to Barker for that. Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds are important for your dog's health. They've been important for our dog's health. Rebel, I've mentioned several times, 11 years old, been sleeping on a Barker for most of his life, and just went to a vet the first time. We've now been to 2 vets at this place, but went to a vet the first time. The vet was amazed at how well he gets around and moves around. And I think part of that is because of Barker. And it has been proven by a study at Penn Vet that getting your dog a real bed, specifically a Barker therapeutic bed, is good for your dog's joints as your dog gets older. The study showed improvement in joint function, reduction in pain severity, reduction in joint stiffness, all that stuff because they're sleeping on a real bed. Go to barkerbeds.com/Ricky. It's barkerbeds.com/Ricky. Learn more about the beds. You can, if you go to that link, you get the free Process Pup patches. You get stickers. You send us a picture with your dog on the bed. Process Pup, put them on social media, all that kind of good stuff. But the difference is the bed. The difference is your dog is sleeping on a real bed that is engineered to keep your dog's joints in good condition, as opposed to the piece of shit it's probably sleeping on. No offense, but you buy a piece of shit, you get what you pay for sometimes. This bed, I want you to think about if you slept on a bad mattress every single night. It would not only feel bad the next day, it would have this accumulating effect. The other great thing about Barker, come in all different kinds of colors, all different kinds of configurations. They look great wherever you have them, from tiny ones to the Barker Jr. to the very, very big ones. They have the travel Barker. They have the crate Barker, anything you need. Barker.com, barkerbeds.com/Ricky. There's a 10-year warranty. The foam won't flatten or they will replace it for free. It's made right here in the US of A. Barker Dog Beds. Mike, your thoughts on the Phillies matchup with the Dodgers?
It's hard to know with the Wheeler stuff. You get Bowman Nola back today.
Wheeler's not going to pitch again this year, I don't think. I think that would be, I don't know. All signs point to very unlikely. So
that sucks.
Yeah. Points to unlikely. I don't know for sure, but points to unlikely.
Really hard to know. It seems like we escaped a really bad situation with
Duran.
Duran's.
Yep.
I mean, it was just like nightmarish things happening. But they also got to score runs, and if they're going to get blanked by the Nats, then I don't think very good as far as a matchup against the Dodgers. But at full health, if I'm becoming like a religious fanatic against Nick Castellanos. Like it really, me and Sixers Adam are texting each other some really heinous things.
Yeah,
he is one of the more frustrating athletes I've ever cared about in my life.
I've never seen Jack turn this hard on a Phillies player. He's like just
brutal,
can't. He repeatedly says, "Can't wait till he's not on the team next year.
Yeah, I
can't
can't
wait till
wait.
he's not on the team next year."
I can't wait to be that slow, that bad of a right fielder. Insist on playing all the time. Throw a total shit fit when he gets taken out for a defensive replacement. Like, imagine if Schwarber got as pissed off as he did about like being pinch ran for.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
right.
It's so embarrassing that you're like that, and has absolutely no approach whatsoever. Just closes his eyes and swings. And if a pitcher is dumb enough to throw him a strike ever, which I wouldn't, occasionally he can blind squirrel his way into a home run. Great. It's brutal. I'm so happy for him to not be on the team anymore. It's gonna be excellent.
I actually think there's a non-zero chance that if you put me in there to pitch with an 0-2 count, I could get Nick Castellanos to swing at a third strike.
Wow. So you're granted an 0-2 count. So someone had gotten hurt. It's maybe like the 23rd inning or something.
Yeah, it's the worst possible scenario that they bring me in.
Bring in like the bullpen catcher. It's Spike.
Yep.
0-2. And you're just like, I'm going to see if you can get him to chase.
I'm just going to throw it low and outside.
Yeah. It's funny that you're like, yeah, I'll just place it there. Yeah. I'll just my command will be immaculate. No, it's brutal. It's so frustrating to watch someone with no approach whatsoever.
Yeah.
He should be platooned 100%. And he should be taken out for defense as often as possible. I don't care if he's upset about it. Play better.
So I'm going to say this on a no home field advantage, because it's hard to predict who would have home field advantage in this case, because the Dodgers aren't even. I don't even think they're in the division lead right now, or they're
Padres passed them.
Tied with the Padres. So I will say, assuming Zach Wheeler doesn't pitch and it was home field neutral, I would say the Dodgers would be like a minus 125 favorite over the Phillies. That would be my best guess.
The Wheeler stuff. I'm sort of not. I haven't factored everything in yet. I'm in a little bit of a state of disbelief. So.
Yeah, it sucks. I think the issue with the Wheeler thing is that
Dodgers repassed the Padres, so they're up by a game. But the Brewers are fucking insane. They haven't lost a game in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, they've won 15 in a row. They win every game. It doesn't matter if they're down 7-0. But then you look at their lineup and you're like, they don't really have that many good guys. I don't know. It feels, Jack, again, just to quote Jack, says that the 2015 Hawks. Does not believe that they'll win in the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Dodgers would be a favorite, but not like a huge favorite. It's really just like Wheeler or no Wheeler. If you score 2 runs a game, you're not going to win any series in the postseason. So
that's factual.
From Ryan, writes to RickySanchez.com. I just wanted to say that since it's actually August, that I recently rewatched the live performance of when Prince plays a guitar solo in While My Guitar Gently Weeps with Petty, Steve Winwood, Jeff Lynne, and others. And it's still one of the coolest things I've ever seen. There's no conceivable way that dunking a basketball would be cooler than what Prince did with that solo.
Watch the Vince Carter dunk contest. Grow up.
I say this as a lifelong Mike guy and unapologetic supporter, but he could not be more wrong about this topic. Basketball question, I do not care.
Get out of there. Get the fuck out. Not even close, man.
Let's go to Reddit from Metaverse Ninja. Has anyone ever told Mike he looks exactly like Tim Lincecum? I would imagine several times.
Yes,
right?
many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, some friends used to call me Levinsicum.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I even feel like we've talked about it on the pod before.
I think we have. Yeah.
Especially COVID long hair Mike era.
For sure. I mean, he had such better like curls. My hair doesn't curl in like any cool way.
Yeah.
He had a real nice salad on him. But yeah, I see it. I've seen it before. Yeah.
From Shiny Puddle on Reddit, if Mike were to write a movie about the process, who would you want cast as the actors? Characters would include Hinky Colangelo, Joel, Ben, and yourselves.
Cast myself. I don't know. I mean, casting is hard. It would really depend on the kind of movie it was.
Well, Colangelo and Hinkie might be the most interesting ones because Embiid would have, there's limits to how many 7-foot guys there are that are acting that could play Embiid, right? You'd probably just have to find a basketball player willing to act. The same way like in that Adam Sandler movie, right?
Okay, so there's something that we were talking to people about at one point that is not going to exist.
Okay.
But
Oh, people are going to start guessing about
I
this.
know.
Yeah,
It's not. It's not. It would have been cool, but it is not gonna. So I was in the. I was thinking in a slightly dramatic, a slightly muted turn for Andy Samberg as Brian Colangelo. Was what
as Brian Colangelo. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then for Jerry, I was thinking Robert De Niro. Would have been pretty funny.
He would be a good Robert De Niro. Hinkie, do you have anything on Hinkie?
Did I have? I don't
Now,
think
recent
so.
pictures of Hinkie do not look like the old Hinkie, but we would be casting him as the old Hinkie at that point.
Yeah, no.
Jeremy Piven?
No. Come on. I don't have it. I don't have it. I'm not. It's you really have to think for a while about casting, but it's also like, is the movie going to be a comedy? You really need people that can sell a joke.
Yes.
Or is it going to be like a more subtle thing, and you need someone that can also act very well and not just look like the guy?
Yeah, it feels like the Saul Goodman guy could be Brian Colangelo, right? What's his real name?
Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk.
Odenkirk could have been Hinkie. I thought you were going to say.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, could be.
That's
Could be.
interesting.
This is, I'll ask CJ to pop up on during this one because I don't think Mike's going to have an answer from St. Christian on Reddit. If you're going to watch one subgenre of horror for the rest of your life, what would it be? I'm torn between zombie and folk horror. Body horror would be a nightmare. CJ is a horror guy. Do you have a particular, if you could only watch one subgenre?
If you would ask me like my favorite right now, I would say found footage, but I feel like that would get old if I was only watching it.
Yeah.
Because it can be pretty bad, but when it's good, it's good. What
I
do you
liked The
think?
Substance. I watched The Substance and enjoyed it.
I did not. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a little overrated. I thought it was a little too gross for my sake. And I did not. It felt like a theme from like 25 years ago or whatever. I thought it was fine. I thought Substance was fine.
You saw Weapons, though, right?
That is body horror. I did see Weapons. I did really enjoy Weapons.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah. I like possession horror. Like I like religious and possession horror. Because you can fit a lot into it. You ever see The Dark and the Wicked? You ever see that?
That's all. You told me about that a while ago, and it's still on my watch list. I haven't seen it yet, though.
Yeah. I think it would probably be that.
I think that's also timeless. Like you can place that in any time period about whatever the plot's going to be, and it could work if it's done well.
Yeah. Mike doesn't like scary movies, so
Nope.
So
Easily
wasn't
scared.
just cutting Mike out of it.
I don't even like when they play. Like I saw Naked Gun in theater, which I recommend. Like before the movie, they're playing a horror movie, and it's like, no, shouldn't be allowed. I did not sign up for this. I should not be exposed to this. This is ridiculous.
The guy who did Weapons, which I really enjoyed, I thought of you when I did this, was a comedy guy.
Yeah, Zach Krager. Yeah.
Yeah, was in Whitest Kids You Know, which has one of my favorite skits of all time, by the way. It's like the two water cooler guys and the guy doing the jerk off thing.
I mean,
the wrong way.
Jordan Peele as well.
Yes, Jordan Peele as well.
Yeah.
And I liked Barbarian. I liked Weapons much more. But this is from Jeff, writes RickySanchez@gmail.com. Dear Spike, Mike, and CJ, if the Sixers moved to another city, would you still root for the team? Would you continue to do the pod? I'm not talking about a few years down the line. I mean, try to imagine that starting tomorrow, Embiid, Maxey, and McCain now play for the Seattle Supersixers. Would your answers change at all if Philly immediately got a new expansion team with new players?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be such an ordeal, and living through how that ordeal goes would color my answer to this. I think I would probably, I'm assuming the way it would go, I would resent the Sixers ownership so much that I would root against them. The way that like Oakland A's fans are as frustrated as they are.
Or even Mavericks fans, the way that they are right now with the Mavs. And I think it does matter on some level if Philadelphia immediately got a new team, I would just switch to the new team. I think I would have interest in the old Sixers. Now, if the Sixers moved and there wasn't a new Philadelphia team, you want to talk about another golden age for the Ricky, like the fucking hate podcast we would do, and it would be. I don't
know. Yeah, it's nice that Mark Maron ends his podcast and just being like, no one's. I don't have to wait for a championship to end this podcast.
Right.
I don't have to wait for any sort of like, we did it. We were right all along, and now it made it all worth it. He's just like, well, I'm gonna stop, and we're like waiting for some event completely outside of our control.
Yep. Some
to
magical
feel
event.
like there's something that is a way that this could ever end in the right way.
Instead, it's just going to, now, this is somebody who's never seen The Sopranos, but it's more likely to just like fucking end like The Sopranos. It's just like in the middle of one of the episodes, it just goes to black. And
Well, I think
then,
probably more like that one of us dies.
yes.
Is I guess how it might go. We're just like, yeah, well, that's it.
I guess we
One of
gotta
us
stop.
died, and that's that. So enjoy the Sixers. We will see us some other time.
I die. Mike goes to CJ. Do you want to do the
Yeah.
rundown? No.
Yeah.
Final one. This is from Raphael. Hi, Spike, Mike, CJ, and special hellos to Scotchy. Oh, she appreciates that, I'm sure. Is there something, if there is something the Ricky doesn't lack, it's the bravery to discuss takes the rest of the NBA is scared of. For instance, ever since and including the Kawhi trade, the Spurs have been a bottom 10 front office in the NBA. I've been warming up to this take for a while, but the full Tobias Harrising of Wemby with the insane De'Aaron Fox max extension just cements it. In a league where there's now effectively a hard cap at the second apron and every dollar counts, you can't pay a $30 million player $60 million, especially not after you traded meaningful assets for him and have two young top 3 picks that play the same position. Look at the much vaunted drafting from the Spurs since 2018 until they lucked out on Wemby. Their picks have been Lonnie Walker, Lucas Sementic, Devin Vassell, Josh Primo, Jeremy Sohan. Not a single one of these players has a positive rating based on the nerd favorite Darko DPM projection system. Am I wrong to think the Spurs front office is crap and just living on past glory and screwing up Wembanyama's future?
So I love Devin Vassell. I think he's a great player. I think he will be good and useful to a very good team. The other picks are bad. The Spurs have been a poorly run team for a while. They did luck out into Wemby.
They haven't made the playoffs in 7 years.
Which is wild. I do think that the De'Aaron Fox max is weird. I think it's probably smart to not have traded Dylan Harper and to sort of like let it play out, but there's not a version where Fox, Harper, Castle works as a core around Wembanyama. That doesn't make any sense. You need more shooting and less guys that need the ball in their hands to succeed. I mean, you would like guys that could do something with the ball in their hands, the way that OKC has a bunch of guys that can do multiple things, but you definitely need more shooting and malleability. It is assumed because of their decades of success that they will figure it out and make it work. But it's certainly like, if they don't succeed this year, if this team is not a top, if they don't make the playoffs, not just the play-in, but the playoffs this year, I think it is like relatively an indictment on the situation. Now Popovich seems to no longer be able to really contribute, so they're figuring that stuff out. Mitch Johnson's in there, but yeah, I think it is. You can't just keep assuming that it's all going to work out for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 7 years.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's speaking of what's it called? The De'Aaron Fox max extension. And I had not noticed this. There's a good article from Ethan Strauss on Clutch sort of taking over the Spurs in a lot of ways. And they're like, when there's a power vacuum, as there has been with the Spurs, with Pop seemingly sort of incapacitated for a while, and there's a lot more teams that are like this now, right? Like the Knicks have a direct CAA connection with Leon Rose. The Lakers have been, until recently, have been pretty clutchy. But there is a lot about, there's a lot of interesting ties between Clutch and the Spurs. And at a certain point, your success from a decade ago at being a well-run organization, has to wear out, and you have to start wondering, like, okay, were you that good, or did you have Tim Duncan? And a lot of things work because Tim Duncan was better than we probably give him credit for now, you know? Mm-hmm. All right, well, that is the show. It's August. We did a can opener thing.
We did it. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Put these beans back, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'll find out for next time. I'll do a what's it called?
Investigative reporting. This
report.
This is our Pablo Torre finds out.
We'll talk to you, I think, Wednesday night. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah. You know, like face.